Hi, welcome back. Well, you remember, 2 weeks ago, we read a book about a boy who had big feelings, right? And he learned that, oh yeah, other people have feelings too. Sometimes big feelings, and that's okay. Well, today we have the second book by the same author. And this is The Girl with Big Questions. And in this story, this little girl is one of those people that just wants to know about everything, that's very curious. Are you like this little girl? Do you want to know how things work, or why? Why are certain things, right? Well, let's read and find out what happens to her, okay? The Girl with Big Questions, written by Brittany Wynn Lee, illustrated by Jacob Suva. There once was a girl with twinkling eyes and a very curious mind. This girl was always asking questions whose answers weren't easy to find. The world is so very interesting. She wanted to learn all she could, from what makes a plane stay in the sky to what makes each person good. That's a good question, isn't it? Her days were filled with adventures galore, since her mind was so full of wonder. How long can a turtle stay in its shell? Why does lightning come before thunder? Why can't people live on the moon? What happens to stars when they fall? Will you let me stay up all night? Why even have bedtime at all? What does the dog do while I'm at school? Hey, how is the whole world made? And why do we have big hearts that can feel hurt and upset and afraid? Could I fly if I got a good running start? The nearest volcano is, where? Are monsters real? What's Spanish for blue? Is it okay to cut my own hair? From the moment she opened her eyes for the day to the time she was tucked into bed, she'd ask and ask and ask and ask every question that popped into her head. At first, her neighbors, teachers, and friends tried to answer her wonder-filled mind. But after a while, their encouraging smiles were replaced by the rolling of eyes. She noticed her questions were making them tense, and one day her class hit their limit. After she asked a dozen things about clouds, the class hollered, "Please stop! Just quit it!" Oops. Embarrassed, the girl tried to quiet her thoughts and not raise a voice so curious, so that no one would be too uncomfortable, or even worse, furious. But one day she found the nest of a bird built low and exposed near the ground. Why would a nest not be in a tree? She wondered and looked around. She was all by herself with no one to ask, So she ran to the library shelves. She read about cities and the lack of safe places for birds to build nests for themselves. Like hunting for treasure, she searched and learned more answers that made her frown. With an urgent report, she announced to her class, "There are not enough trees in our town." The class, now moved by this information, asked questions about how to embark on a project to help both the birds and their neighbors by planting more trees in their parks. The girl knew then that big questions are good, and answers aren't just things to know. They are things to discover alongside each other. Asking questions is how we all grow. The end. Now, the girl with big questions, what did she learn? I think she learned that, okay, number one, sometimes she has to not ask so many questions all the time that gets people upset, but that she can ask questions and look for answers. And like the book said, they are to, finding out the answers to questions is not just finding the answer, it's finding out, well, what do I do with that information? Is there something important, like in her town, where she discovered that there weren't enough trees for the birds? Now, what do you think Jesus would think about us asking questions? Do you think that's good or bad? Well, look at it this way. If we never ask questions, how on earth would we make things better? God made us all, and He gave us brains. Remember, He gave us brains that are smart, that we can figure things out and we can do things to make the world better, right? Now, God is always proud of us when we try to make things better, when we show our love for other people by solving problems, right? So, as you grow up, or even now, when there's problems, think about, what is the answer to that? How can we make things better, right? God loves us so much, and He's so proud of us when we take charge and we decide, I'm not just going to be quiet, I am going to make things better, right? Now, I want you to all have a great week, okay? And I'll see you next week. And what are we going to read? I think, I'm still thinking. I wonder what book will be next. We'll have to find out, right? See you next week, okay? Bye-bye.